Steve Sands from the Golf Channel joins us from Pinehurst. Do you have a Little League horror story there, Steve?
Not Little League, but 8th grade junior high school at Tilden Junior High School in Rockville, Maryland. I was the point guard and did the Freddie Brown to James Worthy before the Freddie Brown to James Worthy happened. And I remember in the car ride home, my mother consoling me and, crying with me and all that garbage, and my father who was driving going, "Oh, suck it up. You shouldn't have thrown the pass."
You need to have a little bit of that, though, a reality check,
man.
right?
I was distraught, man. It was awful.
Not that it stayed with you, right?
Oh, no, I mean, I'm
You're
45
over.
years old. Let's see, I was 12. Let's see, that's 33 years ago. I think about it every day of my life.
I have a fantasy bet. I had to pick 4 American golfers, and then a guy picked 4 European golfers. So it's based on just how much money they earn at Pinehurst. I got Kuchar. I have Jim Furyk. I have Webb Simpson, and I have Phil Mickelson. What do you think?
What do I think? I think Matt Kuchar's an excellent pick here, and not just because he's leading right now.
Oh.
I don't know about Webb Simpson. I know he's a Carolina guy. I'm not quite sure his game stacks up to here, but he's won it before, and I think there's no discounting the fact that when you have the experience. What were the other 2 names?
Furyk.
Yeah.
And Phil.
Phil definitely has a chance. It depends, Dan, and we've talked about this a million times. In sports, with the pressure and you wanting it so badly, how are you going to react to that? I think today is the day that will determine whether or not he can move forward. If he plays well, continues to play well, he's 1 under right now. I think he just has a great vibe. He's gotten it off his back, and now he can go play golf until Sunday when the pressure really ratchets up. If he does not close out this round and play well, then I think it's a completely different story. Furyk is an interesting one. He's perfectly suited to the golf course. He's won a U.S. Open before, but it's been so long since he's won a big event that doesn't he kind of scare you a little bit?
Well, I want him to cash. I'm not expecting him to win. I got to get my guys up there on the leaderboard. They got to cash.
Oh, yeah, he'll be up there. I think he'll be up there.
Yeah, that's all I care about. We're talking to Steve Sands from the Golf Channel joining us. I've talked about this for the last couple of weeks where the NBA is still chasing the ghost of Michael Jordan.
Right.
At what point does golf start chasing the ghost of Tiger Woods?
The longer he's away, but he's coming back. I mean, he's going to, presumably be back 50-50 shot maybe for the British Open.
But he's chasing – he'll be chasing his own ghost, though, Steve.
Yeah, but if he's in the game, though, Dan, I think the reason the NBA is chasing the ghost of Michael Jordan is because Michael no longer plays. In golf, Tiger's 38. So let's say he's got 10 good years. Maybe with today's fitness, if he's healthy, it's a big if. But if he's healthy, let's say he's got 10 more years, they're not going to be chasing that ghost for a long time. In fact, I was telling someone this morning, actually, Dan, that I think golf is more interesting now than it was when he was dominating because the chase is still on. If he was already at 19 or 20 and let's see how many he can get, that wouldn't be, in my opinion, wouldn't be nearly as interesting as him trying to reach back, try to have a second phase of his great career, and try to go get what I think right now is the single greatest record in all of sports, numbers-wise, because it's clean. It's not like one of the home run things or, Barry Bonds and all that kind of stuff. 18, it might be the most famous number right now in sports. You can't tell me how many yards Emmitt Smith has. Maybe people can really dig down deep and figure out how many major championships, Grand Slams Roger Federer has had. You can't tell me how many points in the NBA, that kind of thing. 18 is a big number. That chase is still on. So I think it's crowded. I think the ghosts are there yet.
But does Tiger have to – we're caught up in if you don't get to 6 NBA titles, you're not as good as Michael. Or if you don't get to 4 Super Bowls, you're not as good as Joe Montana. Does he have to get to 18 or 19 to be better than Jack Nicklaus?
I think the reason golf and tennis, but golf in this case, is more defining with its championships than the team sports is because I think Joe Montana is the greatest quarterback of all time. I think Dan Marino is the best passer I ever saw. Never won a Super Bowl. I think Charles Barkley is one of the most fabulous basketball players of all time never won a title. Karl Malone, that kind of thing. In golf, there are plenty of players, Dan, who have won majors who aren't great, but you cannot be considered great unless you've won a major. So fast forward that to the greatest record in the game, which is Jack Nicklaus's 18. If Tiger doesn't get to 18, no matter how many PGA Tour wins he has, and he'll surpass Jack by a mile, if he doesn't get to 18 or beyond, he cannot be considered the greatest golfer of all time. It's just the way the game is set up, and I love it that way. The debate over Marino and Barkley and all those other guys in team sports is separate from golf.
Okay,
and
Steve.
tennis.
Steve, if Tiger ends up with 18,
yeah,
tied with Nicklaus,
yeah,
who's the greatest golfer of all time?
Tiger, because he'll have surpassed him in career wins. Forget the money, that's skewed. Victories is all that counts, and major victories. So if he's tied at 18 and he's got 93 wins and he's got 20 more wins than Jack, I would say Tiger.
All right. Before I let you go, who wins this weekend?
Bubba Watson.
No, don't say that.
I think Bubba's going to win.
Oh, my God. I replaced Bubba with Jim Furyk.
I think Bubba's got more horsepower, obviously, in distance, but I mean more horsepower in his game right now.
I outthought myself here. Damn.
No, because it's hit or miss with Bubba.
No, I know that. Same with Phil. All right. Did you close out your tab in Sochi, by the way?
I think you picked it up, which is shocking because your alligator arms, you've got very short arms and very deep pockets.
Once again, he was all bar in Sochi, Steve Sands. First team all hotel bar.
And once again, I will remind your audience that unless you've actually seen the all-bar team in person, that means you would have had to have been there to be there to see it.
There was a glass elevator, Steve, and as I'm going to my room to do my homework, I would look down and I would see you guys down there.
No. You were in the elevator. You were in the elevator with Al Michaels, who was bringing up a bottle of red.
Remember when you did a body shot off Tom Hammonds? Then I knew that you were being crazy down there as the all-bar team.
Oh, my God. I can't even tell you. It's your show. I'm not even going to come back with something.
We'll talk soon, Steve.
I hope so. Be good.
All right, buddy. That's Steve Sands, Golf Channel.